if we assume that with this is by the way, this is a cool thing, because this shows you the power of how people are thinking ahead, kind of like Wayne Gretzky, playing where the puck is going to be. So I really love this question, and also trying to find alpha, and it helps me dig into it too. If we assume that AI and robotics and the cost of knowledge and labor goes towards zero, most companies will not make much money anymore. This is so important. I said the marginal cost of knowledge goes to zero, and the marginal cost of labor will go to zero in the very near future. And I think it was 2 weeks ago, I covered that. Nobody is ready for that world. So if you want to check that video, if you want to check that out, it's so important to recognize. Anyway, besides the companies who run the AI models and robots, as of now, I can only see one more segment that will emerge stronger. I expect that to be the energy producer. Without them, no robot or AI will run, and without it, therefore, it would not make sense to invest into any energy producers as well. Many thanks and best regards. Quant Believer, you're smart. Now, I did share this slide a couple of weeks ago, and this is the American and Chinese power generation. We know, and I've covered before, there is a direct correlation between the wealth of nations and the amount of power they produce, whether that be oil or electricity, it doesn't matter. The more energy a nation produces, the richer they are. Look at Saudi Arabia, look at Norway, look at where China's coming now too. If you cannot control energy, or you cannot create enough energy compared to your peers or your competitors, you're going to become poorer. Okay, it's very simple. It's like when you flood your land with new people, the amount of GDP is fixed and the GDP per capita goes down. It's all simple. It's all basic mathematics. And this is why this chart is so profound, because if you forecast forward the amount of energy that's going to be consumed by AI, that's it. That will eat up all the energy by 2030 that the US creates today on that continuous trajectory. So they have to do something real fast to unlock a lot more energy real quick, or else the USA is dead in the water in 2030. Okay, we'll not be able to produce AI. You might be able to have your lights on in your house or run your dishwasher or something, or your iPad, but AI will not be able to run unless this drastically changes. Now, fortunately, the current administration is being advised by people that understand this. At least I hope that's the case. China is running away with it, okay? I can't remember the numbers. They're building like 30 power plants every month or something. It's bonkers. US is falling far behind. And don't even get me started in Europe. They shut down their nuclear plants. Big mistake. Again, I'll say it one more time. The amount of wealth of a nation is directly correlated to the amount of energy it produces, whether it sucks oil out of the ground, coal, or electricity somehow. That is the formula. It's not hard. Just remember that. Wealth doesn't magically, arise unless you got big bags of Bitcoin. Anyhow, moving on from this. This is probably what triggered it. Two other things too that are so important. And I have to say, this is a brilliant question, and it's worth spending some time on. But this is from Sam Altman, the guy who was funded by Elon Musk to build ChatGPT, which in turn was half purchased by Microsoft. Energy and intelligence are the two key inputs to techno-abundance, and eventually the cost of intelligence will go approximate to the cost of energy, which is the marginal cost of intelligence going to zero, but everything will be about the energy. Okay? Therefore, we need to invest in energy solutions. That is the biggest constraint on the cost of AI. Okay? Sam Altman said that last year. Elon Musk says, and he said it a few years ago, he says it every year, every 6 months, every 3 months, whatever, the AI scaling constraint will move from chips to voltage transformers to electricity generation. That is worrying for US leadership in AI, okay? No power, you've got no AI, you're dead in the water, okay? I don't want to horrify people, but it's very important they are aware of this. Dead in the water. Going back to this chart, US is dead in the water unless they figure something out real fast, okay? And that's just mathematics. Now, let's talk about the plays. So what would you do? How can you make money from this? And by the way, there's a follow-on question to this as well, which is very important too. So we'll get into that in a second. But first of all, there are renewable energy plays like solar, wind, hydroelectric, or emerging tech like fusion. There's the small model nuclear reactors and advanced nuclear as well. And there's energy storage solutions. My play is Tesla. Now, I'm going to go deeper into these different plays, and I'm going to tell you some of my history as well, and also share why Tesla is my play. This is going to be very, very important. So this answer to this question is not complete because Bitmom says, hey, James, considering the future AI energy demands, I've been looking at NextEra Energy, First Solar, Energy Transfer, and maybe URA, Nuclear Fund. It's an ETF. My current allocations are 40% Tesla, 30% Bitcoin, 10% Solana, 10% MicroStrategy, 5% NVIDIA, 5% others. Marathon Robinhood, nice. Would an allocation to energy positions be something you would ever consider? And thank you for what you do. That has been life-changing. Awesome. Let's go to a blast from the past. This is NextEra. Now, NextEra is a puppy. That was one of the like 5 or 6 things. I was all cash in March 2020 because I knew what was coming. And I deployed everything in about 4 hours. It was one of those moments where it's rare, but once every decade, you get one of these things that you know a black swan is coming. Not many people did. I was fortunate to have some inside baseball, so I could make some life-changing investments all in 4 hours. One of the 6 or 7 companies I bought was actually NextEra. This is where it came from. If you look at the far left corner at the bottom there, you'll see where the dip was purchased, and NextEra fell down to about $30. And I'd been watching it for a while because I was also acutely aware of the importance of renewable energy. And back then, there was a lot of ESG stuff and Green New Deal stuff, which we've then found out since it's not very good. But NextEra did really well. It basically went from $30 to $90 in a very short window of time. And you can see NextEra is now lower than it was in 2021, which is a bit horrific. It's kind of like looking at the block, square, XYZ, whatever they call it now from Jack Dorsey. Some things just don't go anywhere over time, and that's why you need to radically stuff. But I've been out of this since 2021 because fortunately I clean my closet at the end of every year, which is a very important discipline for you all. This, again, one of my 5-6 March COVID 2020 plays. This is the debt versus cash of NextEra. This is probably the most horrifying chart I've ever seen. You don't want so much debt, okay? And the whole Green New Deal stuff was kind of put a pin in it by the current administration. So these things are a little bit out of favor. That's the first one. Next one, First Solar. This is just like Enphase. Enphase, I had nibbled on because I thought, well, everybody needs solar. I need solar, but it's just too expensive. And the Chinese control it. So First Solar is like Enphase. It's still in a downward path. Again, Green New Deal stocks don't do well under the current administration. Wait for the trend to turn here. Let's check out a little bit in the financials. Oh my goodness. Ugh. This is another one called ET, Energy Transfer. This is their debt. Very similar to NextEra. Absolutely terrifying. Yeah, that's just enough to scare the living daylights out of me. And URA is an ETF, and I don't do ETFs. I don't like ETFs. I'd rather pure form always. But it did flash a lovely buy at $18 though, and it's heading to $35. So if you see it around $20 or lower, yeah, of all of them, URA would be the one I would choose. But I do have a wild card up my sleeve. This one. I'm going to turn off my little camera so you can see the full screen. You don't need to see me. A year ago, to the day, it's almost bonkers. No, 13 months ago to the day, I wrote a paper. And nobody ever reads these papers, but the people that do win. Basically, I calculated exactly what Tesla's megapack business was worth. And I did this without knowing that they'd opened 2 more megafactories, one in Texas and one in Shanghai. And the numbers still stand. In fact, the numbers are probably too conservative. But I said basically, willy-nilly, and I pounded my fist on the table, I said, the Tesla megapack business is going to be worth $1 trillion, which was at the time more than double the market cap of Tesla. Just megafactories. And the paper is there from the InvestAnswers newsletter, the Substack. and you can read it all. You can read all the financial analysis, etc. The orange color here is just the value of Megapack. Extremely conservative. And basically, all you need to know is sandbagging. The value per share of Tesla, of the Megapack business, would be $874 by 2032, which is about the market cap of $2 trillion. Not one, but two. One line of business. And that's why when Elon Musk says, oh, next year's going to be bonkers, and after that, it's just going to be insane, that's because he's looking at all the lines of business. If you go back to this chart here, I have them turned off, but you got your Dojo, your Optimus, your Superchargers, your Megapacks is the orange, which you're seeing here. Semi is coming. 50,000 a year will be produced in Nevada next year. Fleet Media, Robotaxi, AI Inference, Insurance, FSD, cars. I mean, they have so much stuff going on, it's not even funny. Anyway, you're probably sick of hearing about that, but all roads lead to Tesla. I used to say all roads lead to Bitcoin. Bitcoin and Tesla, safest play. Same for years. And that's how I allocate. So, Bitmom, hope that helps. The safest energy play is Tesla. And you get all the other goodness with it. And that's why I tend to be very concentrated in very few assets. Because every time I go off the reservation, I dabble, get a little bit of, I say, end phase, boom, I get my head handed to me. Stick with the safe stuff. And that's why I only throw pennies at these things. Okay? Allocations matter. These are so many important rules.